Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Happy New Year.
Come
Happy
back!
New Year.
Come
Happy
back!
New Year. Yeah.
Come back!
All right. Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's different this time, as you can see here. This is not live. We're pre-recording this episode of AniBrigade, episode 3, and that's mainly my fault. Well, not really my fault, because I can't control what's happening with my internet service provider. But I called them today as of this recording, and I said, hey, something's wrong with my internet. I already reset everything, and the guy pretty much told me, oh, sorry, I can't help you over the phone. So they're sending someone here tomorrow, so for the next podcast, it will be live, and everything will be back to normal. So apologize for that. But
then,
for today, what are we going to be doing, guys?
Today, the AniBrigade is going to be talking about the Winter 2018 anime lineup.
Happy New Year.
Right.
Happy New Year, everyone.
You have me, the host for today's video, Professor Anime, in the flesh.
Yeah.
We have the individual of individuals who is on top of the way of the blade, the way of the samurai. We have the blade ninja.
Oh, thank you
Oh,
very
what an
much.
introduction.
I love that.
And then we got the memory of memories.
Gas me up, baby. Gas me up.
The individual.
Gas me up.
Will
Yes.
end up being implanted in your
yeah.
memory.
Woo! Woo! Pump it up, dude. That was
And his
amazing.
catchphrase is "Got it memorized."
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I love it, dude. Yes.
Dude,
we
that's
have
the
a creator on this channel named MemoryNK.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That was epic.
And also, really quick, I just want to say Happy New Year to all of you.
Yep. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Hope
Yeah.
you all had a
Like
Merry
already,
Christmas,
we have all this crap
whatever
happening
you
already.
celebrate,
with people.
and a good New Year, good New Year's resolutions, and let's just hope this year will be a better one.
Here's a good New Year's resolution for all of you, by the way. Think about the videos you upload to YouTube. That's a really good one. I think everyone can learn from that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you're sitting down editing that video, think to yourself, should I really put this on the internet and especially
Is
YouTube?
this a good idea?
Just think.
Oh,
Just think about it.
but make sure you double think about it, just in case. Maybe you just have to think
Yeah.
about it a little longer. Just take that extra second and then go before you hit publish.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yes.
Maybe this video might not go on. Okay, good idea.
But we're not talking about that today.
No,
Yeah.
we're not controversial.
We're talking about something way better.
Yeah, today
And
we're gonna
move.
stay positive. Today we're gonna stay positive, and we are going to talk about shit that we like to talk about, and that is
Anime.
anime. And we're gonna be talking about today the Winter 2018 anime lineup. So first up on the list. Oh, and by the way, we are going this according to
Now.
Mal's
Yeah.
lineup. So we're gonna be following the anime in that format. So yeah, and the first up on the list for the Winter 2018 season is Overlord.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Second season.
Which
Yes.
has already came out, well, the first episode.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah,
Because
which,
of,
which I think surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people were like, wait, I thought it aired on January 9th. And it was just...
But you know what's weird though? If you go look on Mal, it says December 17th, and yet it didn't come out
That
December
was probably
17th.
like the first, like they had like a pre-showing or whatever.
That's just strange to me. Like
Yeah.
that was legit very
Yeah,
weird.
they have
They
like
did that.
certain like pre-showings. I guess that one you just mentioned was like one of the first ones, but it actually like pre-aired on a TV station like on the 31st or whatever.
Yeah, like if you read Mal, just in case, it says January 10th is when they start doing the regular broadcast. So assume
Yeah, so
that
it really
it hasn't really started yet per se, but
Yeah,
it's out.
Yeah,
First
I was gonna say it kind of rings up the question as to whether Crunchyroll does officially actually have this right now, because like as you guys said, this
Right.
was airing in Japan at a special event or whatnot, so that's why it came out early, and there's fan subs for this,
Mhm.
but I think maybe
of
by
right
January
now-
10th we could see it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
maybe.
I
Because they have season 1 of Crunchyroll.
I hope
on this,
so. But as of
Yeah.
right now, as of January 2nd, us recording this, Crunchyroll hasn't announced it yet. So
Right.
we'll see. But also something interesting to note is the person who did the fan sub for the first episode of Overlord is actually the person who translates for the light novels.
Oh, okay. So that's actually
So
good.
Oh, really?
yeah. So
That's
from what
interesting.
I've heard, the translations are actually really accurate and they're good. So
I
mean,
mean,
we're not-
I would hope so, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do the light novel
I mean,
for it if
but
he's
we've
doing
just
bad.
we've just saw so many times in the past where like translations come out for whatever episodes, and
Fate
they're
Apocrypha, the
and they're
last
just
episode.
and they're just really bad. So
Ooh, seriously, it's really bad. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the fan translation of Fate Apocrypha episode 25.
no, I'm gonna
There
wait.
is some.
I'm waiting
There
for
is English in
UTW.
that episode, like legit English. It's not even. It's not proper. There was a scene where it goes, I do this master for. I'm like, what?
Ah.
What?
That's
What?
why I wait for UTW, even though it takes a couple more days. I understand maybe you couldn't wait, but
Or just
I'll
wait
wait.
for Netflix. If you
Yeah,
really have
I'll
to,
wait.
'cause Netflix should be getting it probably the last part soon.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Overlord season 2.
I'm still not caught up.
But yeah.
Yeah, we got Blade not caught up yet. He's on episode 7, right?
7. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a date.
So I mean, with this second season, it seems like just based off the first episode, maybe you guys haven't watched it yet.
No.
But even with the previews, even if you haven't
I
watched
have.
the first episode yet, this whole Lizardmen arc that they're moving into, it seems like I mean, from the preview, there's a whole lot more of new faces we're going to see in this season, a lot more creatures.
Yeah.
It seems like we're actually going to focus on one of the floor guardians that I wanted to know more on from season 1, and that's Cocutus. Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I think I've heard of that.
I'm really, really excited for that. But also it looks like it's going to be like pretty like political, like strategical, and there's some kind of like being. We don't really know exactly what it is, but we see it like in the air, and all the lizardmen are looking up at it like, what the hell is that? And it's like like pretty much wishing death or saying that death
like
is
some
coming.
sort of omen.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
sort of
some
omen.
yeah, like some eclipse shit. It's not
Interesting.
near that level, not even close to that level, but
Never will be.
but yeah, I'm relatively. I didn't honestly think we'd get a second season of Overlord. We have it, and I'm happy. So I mean, what else can you really say?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, I watched the episode. I'm not gonna obviously give spoilers or whatnot,
right.
but
Please don't.
I mean, it was pretty much, just to talk about it briefly, kind of like what Nate just said. It's involving the whole, lizard arc thing, and what I heard about, from the light novels, at least, it seems to focus a lot on the Lizardmen. I don't really know so much if we're going to see a lot of Ainz in this. I mean, we will see Ainz, but like it's going to focus more on, I guess, the other side of like how people view Ainz and also this, threat that's threatening their village and all that.
Which
stuff.
I like that
So,
kind of.
It's a different perspective, so I think it's
the one thing
I'm looking forward to the season.
One thing I did notice though that people were saying is that if they like if they draw out the Lizardmen arc like probably like more like around 5 or 6 episodes, that they think it wouldn't turn out being that good. So like a lot of people that I'm hearing, they just kind of want to see them adapt it, then move on, like not draw it out or like slow the pacing down or anything like that. So I'm hoping we get that with this season as well, because that was just from people who I've saw who've read the light novel or whatever, are caught up or have just read past this point and their kind of perspective on it without spoiling. So though I am excited for this this second season of Overlord, I must say, because I was a big
I'm
fan.
excited I'm just excited to catch up, because I mean I'm loving the first season right now, and I have read a little bit of the light novel series because I actually own the first 3 novels for it. But
And the
I
light
actually
novel
like
volumes are beautiful.
oh,
Yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
I will say right now, I have owned a lot of light novels in my life. I still consider, I think, the art in the actual books and even just the books themselves to be some of the best I've ever seen.
The illustrator is
And
Sobin, and
Sobin.
Sobin does an amazing job.
Like legit, probably the night. I just look at that, and I'm like, oh my god, it
Yeah,
looks
they're
like
nice.
watercolors,
They're
and it's really like ornate. I love it.
But yeah, pretty much that's it. That's Overlord season 2. Glad it's back. I mean, it's kind of surprising that we even got another season of Overlord, but
Madhouse has 3
glad it's
shows.
back.
Madhouse
I
has
think
3 shows this
what's
season.
the-
That's kind of crazy.
In Japan, the light novel series I think is like at 14 or something like that. I think.
Oh, it probably sells
top-
pretty good.
I
Shows
think
like
it does.
this usually tend to do pretty well. Like the game
Yeah.
kind of like whether
The
you're
isekai
trapped in the
slash game
game,
thing, yeah.
you're trapped in the
Yeah,
game
the
or
isekai.
whatever.
No,
Yeah.
but that's the one thing I like about it though, is that they do some really cool stuff with this. Like, not to get any more further into it, but that's one thing I think Overlord, especially if you haven't seen it yet and you're wanting to now catch up to Overlord, it's not your traditional isekai in my mind, because so the guy has been teleported to a video game, but they really don't focus on that. They focus on just how he's adapting to that.
Yeah.
It's clever the way they do it, because they really, almost at times you almost forget that dude's from the another world.
Right.
You get lost back in the fantasy, which is something rare for anything that's like this.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, that's pretty much, I guess that's it for Overlord Season 2. There's a lot of anime to cover on this list, guys, so we're just gonna be talking about this
only the big
as
stuff we're
briefly
gonna
as
talk about.
Yeah,
possible.
we don't
Big
want this
stuff
to
we'll
be
talk
like a
about, the smaller
3-hour
stuff.
long podcast, you
right.
know.
Yeah,
But
there's gonna be a lot, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna like skim on over to each anime and briefly talk about each one. So that's Overlord Season 2. Definitely check out the first episode if you wish, or you can wait until it goes on. Hopefully Crunchyroll, because I guess that will be the regular broadcasting on January
your eyes
10th.
open, that's
But just keep your eyes open. Next up is Nonatsu no Taizai Season 2, Seven Deadly Sins.
And we lost Nate.
Yeah, we lost Nate.
Well,
what
okay,
happened?
he's
We're
back.
gonna-
Don't worry,
we're
just
gonna-
keep going.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never mind.
But yes, Nonatsu no Taizai, Seven Deadly Sins, Season 2. I'm hyped for this. I mean, I don't
I haven't
read
watched any of the original.
to Seven Deadly Sins,
Mhm.
so I have no idea what to really expect out of this. But from what I remember of Season 1 of Nonatsu no Taizai, I love the soundtrack, the good animation,
Mhm.
and it was a good shonen series, and I really do like it. So I'm definitely looking forward to Nonatsu no Taizai and seeing what else is to be expected from this coming season of it. So
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited to see the Last Sin, which in Season 1 we got all of them but one. So we're gonna see
Right.
the Last Sin.
oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
That
we're
is
gonna
true.
we're
yeah.
gonna see the Last Sin in the second season. I'm really hyped for that.
Mhm.
Also, something to note is that apparently they are going off of where the OVA ended. Because with how like the OVA was being advertised, at least by Netflix, a lot of people thought it was season 2.
Oh, it was like a second season, right?
Yeah, but it's not
Oh,
a
yeah,
season
yeah, yeah,
2.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just kind of like it patches up some of the things from season 1, and then like adds to it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like season 1, the OVA, and really the ending of the OVA is what leads into season 2. So. And also something else I found out is that at the beginning of this second season, there's actually going to be a recap series, or not a series, a recap episode of the first season and the OVA, I believe, with some like added scenes and.
It's gonna be like a movie like type thing, or they just.
I don't
do
know if it's.
one
It might be
episode?
just a regular length episode, but I did hear that
That's
it's
gonna be weird.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna recap a whole 24, 25 episode series in
And then
one
4
episode.
OVA.
But and a 4 episode OVA, but I guess they're adding scenes or adding certain things to it. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I think that will be nice because like as a refresher, because I mean it's been a really long time since I've watched Seven Deadly Sins, at least the first season. It's been like 2 years or whatever, so at least for me. When did it come out? Do you remember when it came out, the first season?
I want to say it came out in 2016, like the late part of 2016.
What the
I
the
believe.
OVA did?
The
The first season
the
came out-
The first season came out 20. I still think it was 2016 or late 2015. But I know it wasn't.
I don't even
super
remember.
long ago.
I don't even remember. I thought it was maybe more towards like 2013 or 2014. Whatever. It's just been a while since I've watched it. That's all I know. So I mean, that refresher will be kind of nice to have going into season 2, and I hope honestly that because they have way more than enough content to adapt. So I hope we get like a 24, 25 episode run with Seven Deadly Sins season 2.
I'm
But,
sure we will. I'm
yeah,
sure we will.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to have the characters back. One question I do want to ask, Aaron, you said you haven't watched it yet.
No.
Okay, Miles, who is your favorite sin?
My favorite sin,
Yes,
honestly, I would
or like your favorite character, whatever you want to.
I would probably have to go with Bond.
That's me too.
Yeah,
That's- Yeah.
dude, I love Bond, dude.
But like, I don't know. Like a lot
I
of
need to watch
people,
the show once eventually.
a lot of people hype up Escanor, who is the last sin. So it may be
Spoiler.
him. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, it could be him just with how people have hyped him up and how people have talked about him. I don't know anything about Escanor. I don't even know how he's introduced or what happens. I
either.
just know the name of the last sin is Escanor, and I saw like an image of him. That's really it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I am really excited for Seven Deadly Sins season 2. Much like Miles said, when like the staff, the animation studio A1 Pictures, who I'd imagine is going to be on it again, when they
Yeah,
have
A1 Pictures is on it again.
when they have a series like this, like a Sword Art Online-esque, like in terms of like popularity, they usually go in like there's some top-notch
They boost it,
like
yeah.
animation
They pump some money into it.
showcased, with this series. So of course you got Sawano, the god, on the music, so that's gonna be
yeah.
nice. You got Flo and Grand
Flo,
Rodeo
Grand
on the
Rodeo,
opening.
the
Like,
OP.
yeah, it's it's really looking up for Seven Deadly Sins season 2. I'm just hoping that because there's season 1. I know a lot of people had problems with how it was adapted, so I hope season 2 they kind of stick to the source material, make everyone happy. I think either way I'll enjoy it.
I think we'll do good.
Yeah.
So
Really excited. Really excited. Though.
That's Seven Deadly Sins, everyone. So we're gonna head on to the next anime.
Citrus.
The next anime is Citrus. This is going to be done by Studio Passion. Passion hasn't done.
They did Rail Wars. They did
Passion.
Rail Wars and
Roka no Yusha. Roka no Yusha.
Yeah. And they also are going to be working on the 4th season of High School DxD.
Now, what's interesting? What's interesting about Citrus, and it's probably one of the, I think for people, one of the most insane things about it is that it's essentially a Yuri. Like it's legit a Yuri manga series.
That's why everyone's going to watch it.
Right. But what's crazy about that though is that like people, everyone always talks about Yuri on Ice comparison because Yuri on Ice came out and they had like that had the yaoi stuff in it occasionally, but the difference is that was never touted as a yaoi. That doesn't really have a lot of elements to that. Citrus is a Yuri manga, 100%. Like it's a shoujo AI, but obviously it's got 2 girls. They do make out. I know that for a fact because I used to have one girl that used to be a huge fan of Citrus who would never shut up about Citrus to me when it came out. So
yeah, I heard the manga is pretty raunchy.
Yeah, it's. I remember she showed me because she had the whole thing. She showed me like I think it was one of the scenes where they're making out, and legit, I'm like, wait, are you showing me like a hentai book? Like, what is this? It legit has that much perversion in it. But from what I hear,
I wonder if it's gonna be censored, if it's gonna be on one of the uncensored stations like ATX or whatever.
What they're probably gonna do is I guarantee they're gonna make it where it's not as I want to say whatchamacallit, like graphic, because I feel like they're gonna still have that.
They could censor it, but at the same time,
I'd rather watch the uncensored.
I don't know about that.
From what I know, the manga didn't have a lot of nudity, so I really don't think they have to worry about too much censoring. I mean, they probably like if they did have anything, they'll try to use their usual anime stuff. But I mean, it's just crazy because Citrus being one of the biggest shows that ever do this, because there are obviously Yuri and Yaoi shows that come out, but are they considered what is mainstream in Japan to come out? That's a rarity, and Citrus is doing that, and it's going to be something that even people here in the West are going to watch. So it's going to be interesting. I mean,
I think it's going to be like one of those like Kuzu no Honkai type shows where it like divides a lot of the community.
Right.
Like a lot of people are going to bash it, a lot of people are going to hate it, and then there's going to be a lot of people out there who love it.
Right. I mean, the manga did that.
It's kind of going to be hard, I think, to be in the middle with that show.
Right. You can either love it or hate it. That's the bottom line to it. I mean,
I'm gonna check it out.
But
these types of shows usually aren't for me, to be completely honest.
I'm reviewing it because I told people to do it and they want me to review it. So
I mean, really, there's just only 2 reasons.
I think it'll be.
We're checking this out. I mean, one, we're curious, and 2, well, obvious reasons.
Research purposes.
Research purposes.
But I mean, beyond that, there's really nothing else to say about. I mean, it's just
but yeah, there's really not much else to say.
I think it'll be popular just because of what it is, the source material.
It probably will because I know that there is a decent fan base behind this.
Yeah. So. Citrus has a huge fan base. It's probably one of the biggest that exists for that. Yeah. Now, for moving on, I want to talk about the next one really like hardcore.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm so excited. I'm Fate Extra Last Encore. Like I am legit looking forward to this because I actually played the game way back on the PSP. That's how old this game is. And the game is not great. It's got a great story. I'll tell you that right now.
Did this get moved over to the PS4 though?
No. What that is?
Or no, that was Extella. That was Extella, right?
Extella. No, but it does take. It's the sequel to Fate Extra. But it's Dynasty Warriors. This game. The first one is like an RPG with almost a rock paper scissors type turn-based concept to it. Where legit, there's only you don't know what the enemy's gonna do, and you have to hope whatever you chose will actually conflict and win in that battle. It was cool, but the story was what I loved about it because it has all the characters from like Fate Stay Night essentially, but in a virtual world setting, and it's intriguing. So I mean, and Shaft's doing it. Yeah. So right there, I mean that alone.
From the preview, it looks freaking hype. Like,
I'm hyped for it. Yes, you can tell. I'm like my hype level for it is
like I mean we're just coming off of Apocrypha, going right into another Fate series, and then we got like I still have to watch the
cooking show one.
Yeah, the cooking show one. I still gotta watch. Heaven's
Grand
Feel.
Order.
No, I still got to watch Heaven's Feel, the first movie. The second movie's coming out this year, 2018. We got the Fate Grand Order specials.
Too much.
Fate is, yeah, I agree with Miles on that. Fate is pushing it a little bit because I mean, you know, way back when Fate Stay Night came out, there was nothing else for Fate like at all after that, and then all of a sudden we had the OVA movie come out, that we had the game start coming out, that we had more of the series start, and now it's like every year it's almost like a Transform movie at this point.
Yeah,
every
like,
year a new Fate series comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, I guess, like the biggest hardcore fan when it comes to Fate because I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I mean, I've only completed, I think, like Fate Stay Night. I've seen a little bit of Zero. I've seen, you know, halfway through Apocrypha, which I still need to catch up to, by the way.
Apocrypha's amazing.
But like, there's just a crap ton of Fate series out there, and you know, this is what just like irritates me. I mean, this will like go into like another, you know, probably video in the future, but you know, when you're trying to catch up with said series from a season and then another season starts, and then you have like this show, for example, out there, you really want to check it out, but then again, you're not too well versed with the others. I mean, I know they're all side things, but I mean, it's just like, damn, like it's so hard to catch up with every little show that comes out of season.
What's good for you though is that Fate Extra Last Encore is based more on Fate Stay Night, because I don't, from my knowledge, it has no characters beyond Fate Stay Night. Like, you're not gonna see Fate Zero characters per se. I mean, you'll see a version of them. Obviously,
Saber's in here.
Right. It's Nero Saber who is based more on Nero's cancer. Yeah, it's Nero.
I mean, like from what I've seen of.
By the way, best Saber in my mind. One of the best ones.
Yeah, from what I've seen of the
I don't know if you want, Miles, or if anybody watching this video hasn't checked out the preview yet. It does look pretty dang good. Like, I must say, and I mean,
I haven't checked it out yet.
TM Revolution's on the opening.
Woo! I love TM Revolution.
So that is another good thing going for it. How long do you think it's gonna be, Aaron? Probably 12 or 13 episodes, or you think it's...
That's where Shaft could be very interesting.
Because Shaft is known, like, notoriously for doing multiple seasons or multiple episodes,
or even just doing 6 episodes. That's it.
Oh, yeah, true.
They've done short series like before, and they burst them through. But
like, I know I haven't watched the Monogatari series. You have, but there's some, you know, 4 episodes, 2 episodes, 6 episodes.
Seasons, yeah. They'll have 2 episodes and they'll have 6, like you said, 4.
And then you have their March Comes In Like a Lion, which has 2 seasons, both 22 episodes each. So it's like.
What I think with Fate Extra, and it's just more speculation than anything else, because the game is not super long. I think it's maybe like 20 hours or something like that. Because it's really just a tournament style thing where it goes from one thing to another fight to another fight to another fight, and you know there's story in between, obviously, but unless they really dive into this virtual world, which I don't know if they're gonna skip right to the beginning, because I'll tell you right now, the way the game starts, you don't even play the main character. You play some other dude, and then then it restarts the game where you then play as the main guy, seeing the perspective of the guy who just you were playing as before, which is weird.
Interesting.
So I legit think this will be probably like 13 episodes, if 8. I can't see them doing anything shorter. Yeah. I can't see them doing. If they do it longer, 22 maybe, but I that's pushing it. I think.
All right.
I really do.
All right.
All right, let's move on.
Well, I guess we'll move on now. But yeah, I'm excited for Fate. Definitely got to check it out.
I'm stoked. I'm sorry if I gushed a little bit about it, but
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Stoked, man.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get through this quickly because there's a lot of cover.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, okay. So next up we have Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. So this is going to be by Connect and Silverlink. Now, Death March to the Parallel World. Now, there's going to be... This is another isekai series, if you guys haven't noticed. But how I feel this series is going to turn out, judging by a story that I've read, and, well... I mean, I haven't read the light novels, but I have read the synopsis, and what it sounds is pretty generic in terms of like what it's presenting. It sounds like a combination of Sword Art Online. I mean, even you have the main character who is literally a carbon copy of Kirito. Yeah, exactly.
He looks like him. Yeah.
It's gonna be like a mixture between Sword Art Online and a little bit of, I would say, that smartphone anime that came out.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah,
last week. Yeah. So. This is going to be like a mixture of that. Personally, I'm not really too hyped about this one. I mean, I'll check it
Yeah.
out just to see if it's, at least interesting, but I highly doubt it.
I'm getting burned out of these.
So me personally, I'm not really, that amped up to check it out.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
I'll
really.
see.
I'm not really either. It's kind of like.
So I mean,
it's kind of like what was I gonna say? Like with these isekai shows, because we get like so many
now?
of them,
Yeah.
it's kind of like at least anymore, unless like a ReZero season 2 was to come or something. I don't really get like my hopes up too high, and then like I kind of go into it, I check it out, maybe I actually really enjoy it. I'm just like, oh, nice, but I don't go into these shows anymore with like high expectations. Now,
right.
And keep in mind, really quick, I just gotta say, like, Death March to the Parallel World is like only slightly above in ratings in terms of the light novel as the smartphone anime. Or smartphone light novel.
That's terrifying.
So
that's
just
funny.
keep that in
That's
mind.
funny because I've heard like there's a lot of people excited for this series.
Dude, but smartphone anime had people that were excited
Right.
for it too. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh man,
Some people just dig,
this is-
especially the people in Japan. They just dig these isekai shows, like
because they're their version of fantasy. Like they're the
right.
they're the new age fantasy. You have, instead of having like medieval time periods and stuff, now you have transported to a fantasy medieval world or
Cute girls.
supernatural world, but all the girls. So you essentially have a harem story you can put into it, and you can also
Yeah,
make
he
your
probably has
character
a
a
harem.
badass character.
Right.
I mean,
right.
dude, look at the image right there. Legit, he's surrounded by what looks like several girls already.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5, 6,
man.
7,
Dude,
8.
it literally looks like it does kind of look like a smartphone clone, like for real.
It legit does. He even looks
Yeah.
like the dude from Smartphone.
Man,
and the guy from Smartphone looks like Sword Art. Looks like Kirito.
Like, listen, we might be saying this right now, but maybe it will do some things to surprise us. But for
It
now,
could.
I'm just not gonna.
That ain't so good, but
Yeah, I'm just not gonna get my hopes up. But I'm gonna check it
Yeah.
out just because I always I checked out the first episode or whatever, Smartphone. I just didn't like
Right.
it, so I just didn't want to put myself through that anymore.
Okay, it was passable. The show was passable.
But yeah, I'll check Death March out.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out as well.
Yeah, same here.
But
Not much
Not
to say
guaranteeing
besides
that
another
I'm gonna
isekai
watch it all the way
show.
through. But the next one up, we're technically just gonna skip through this one
Man.
because who really cares? But it's Dagashi Kashi season
So
2.
It'll kill you
So-
if you're a YouTuber and decide to review.
Yeah, even if you talk
Good
about
luck.
This might get
Even if-
striked because we just mentioned it.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna skip on over it.
Pass over it,
Just
yeah.
pass it to the side.
Yeah.
It's not that good anyway.
No,
I don't
John-
think we
like it.
none of us finished the first season. I don't think, right?
No, I didn't even
No,
finish
I
the first
didn't.
episode. I got through half.
Yeah.
I got through halfway. It was nothing special. But next up, the one anime that
Oh,
I am
yes.
personally hyped
Yes,
for,
Same
baby.
here, man.
and pretty much
Same
all
here.
of us, I guess.
Trigger.
Trigger is
And
Trigger,
A1 Pictures.
Yep.
Yes, Trigger and A1 Pictures are going to be
That's
working on
collaboration.
an anime original known as Darling in the Franxx,
I-
and it's going to be a mecha series, and it's definitely like from what the PV from that we see. I think it looks really good.
It
so
looks
far.
amazing,
I'm
dude.
interested. I'm interested to see
You
how
have,
this one's going
it-
to
you
it's
have
like-
the
it looks like a-
powerhouse of A1 Pictures, and then
Yeah.
you have the animation studio of Trigger. That
Mhm.
should right there be a thing that I said this when I was doing my thing of what I'm watching. That right there should be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
money and animators. Put that
We need-
together.
see, we need more originals, man. We need more originals
Like,
this.
dude, this literally reminds me of it's like a Kisniver with mechs.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah.
Like it kind of has
It
that
has the
vibe
art style.
for me, especially with the main mysterious girl. Her name's like 02
Yeah.
or whatever. We had that girl in Kisniver who was like very mysterious.
Best
kinda.
girl. I
Yeah.
don't care what anyone says.
So I mean,
Shunazaki. I think that's one of the-
really really hyped for Darling in the Franxx. I mean, Trigger. I don't think I haven't disliked a Trigger show that at least that I
Oh,
watched.
yeah,
So.
I mean, me either.
I don't really- I think the only thing I a lot of people give me flack for, I'm not a huge fan of Kill la Kill. I didn't really get into it, but I watched it at probably a bad time. So it's like I don't know if I really hate it or if it's just me watching it at a bad time.
I still need to finish Kill la Kill. I've watched a bit of it, but I still need to
I watched
finish it. But in
first
terms of
three
everything
episodes.
else, I love.
Oh, everything else
Trigger
from them
stuff.
I love. Trigger, everything else is great.
But yeah,
Like I would talk about this though. I would talk about Darling in the Franxx. Give you all the overall synopsis as to what this story is about. But personally, I want to go in this series blind. So
I don't blame you. I mean, like, just
Yeah.
it looks like it has a lot of fantasy elements to it. I mean, I feel like sci-fi elements to it, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I think this is one of those shows that the more less you know, the better it'll be for you.
Something that I
Yeah.
really like is the mech designs. They're pretty like. At least I've never
You know
really
they're-
saw mechs that look like this.
No, you know what they look like? Razafon.
Yeah,
They remind me of a future version of Razafon
They're
because
pretty
Razafon
unique.
have faces and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and they have that same concept to it.
yeah, they're pretty
Mm.
unique, and I guess like each student in this main group or whatever they are is gonna have like their own mech, so that's gonna be kind of cool.
Cool. That's gonna be
Yeah.
I've been
I love things that do
dying
it.
for like a really good mech show, at least for like seasonal anime. So this
It's been a while, technically.
yeah,
if you
I
think
mean
about
this might be it right here. I'm hoping Trigger don't let me down. A1.
it. And then it's the
but-
worst show. of the season.
but I mean like a lot of the staff on this project stacked. I mean it's I got some pretty high expectations for this one. I'm just hoping it doesn't really let me down.
This is why I think almost in a way like Fate Apocrypha, you know, with the whole episode 20, was it 23 or whatever, with the whole animation being like something that had people from Trigger working on it or something like that, or new animators, and also one dude from Trigger doing like that.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if that was like the day that they were working on this, like, hey, can we borrow you guys for a second? We need to borrow you for a second. Let's go do
they probably had this planned out like way beforehand. I hope at least.
But
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
think
yeah,
we're all-
we're all excited. We're all
very
excited.
very excited for this
Definitely
series.
one of the must check outs of the season. So definitely check that out.
100%.
Next up, we have a light novel series that is called Beatless. Really
actually
quick, I guess I'll go
kind of
over
excited
the
about it. Kind of.
synopsis. You're excited about it?
Kind of. I'm scared also because this Dio Media is doing it, and I like.
Okay.
Weren't they ones who did Sakura the Resetters? No, they weren't.
No. They did
They did Mayoga. They
yeah.
did Mayoga, Fuka, and Akuma no Riddle, which
Hmm.
yeah, I mean they've done Campion, which is good, and then they've done also a few other shows like Aho Girl, but their works are kind of very
Yeah.
very varied.
It's a light
That's how I
novel.
put
It's a
that.
light. It's based off a light novel too. So
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
let me read.
I haven't heard enough about the light novel. I don't know really. I haven't heard any good things about it. I haven't heard any bad things about
I
it.
never heard.
so-
I never heard the series until I looked up the,
yeah,
the thing.
same here. Same here.
Let me go ahead and read the synopsis. And
Yeah,
see
let's
what
hear
this
it.
is about. With the introduction of an ultra-advanced AI that surpasses human intelligence, beings that mankind has yet to fully comprehend, made from materials far too advanced for human technology, begin coming into being. Lacia, an HIE equipped with a black coffin-shaped device, is one of these. In boy meets girl fashion, 17-year-old Arato Endo has a fateful encounter with the artificial Lacia. For what purpose were these artificial beings created? Amid questions regarding the coexistence of those artificial beings these artificial beings and humans, a 17-year-old boy makes a decision. I mean, that kind of sounds like a generic setup.
Yeah, I mean, just think recently, Clockwork Planet,
Yeah.
Dimension W as well. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of series where
Yeah.
we have like main guy or main girl. Usually, a main guy runs into a AI who's a
Robot.
girl, a robot
Yeah.
girl. So we have saw a lot of shows like this that have this kind of setup. Now
Yeah,
the question is, what other things could it do to make it stand out more compared to those other series? Dimension
idea.
W is kind of like it had its moments, but it was kind of
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
just
like
got-
Clockwork Planet really at all.
The reason I'm excited for it, and it's not because it looks appealing to me. It's more so because I've never heard of it up until now.
Hmm.
And when I first read the synopsis, I'm like, yes, it sounds, because I actually thought the same thing, Clockwork Planet. But I feel like it could redeem Clockwork Planet, because Clockwork Planet had the worst story, characters besides
Yeah, maybe
the main
this
girl.
story will actually
whatever her name
be.
was.
They'll work with it in a way that's different than the other ones.
Right.
We'll see.
I think only the main girl, the robot AI in Clockwork Planet was actually interesting, and or even maybe the dude who had the ability to hear everything far away. That was interesting, but everything else about that story sucked.
I think the one thing that I noticed is like the character designs look really badass for this show, like in the outfits and whatnot.
Dude, did you look at the art for it?
Yeah,
Like,
the art too. Yeah,
it looks amazing.
yeah. So I'm hoping they can kind
We're
of
hopeful.
do justice to like the animation studio, the staff working on it. They can kind of make it somewhat appealing, you know, and live up to how that
We
artist.
shall see.
Yep. So yeah, Beatless is kind of one we're gonna check out, see how it goes. It could surprise a lot of people. It could be one of those hidden gems that we have every season that not really a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, keep in mind,
Mhm.
like we're just like we're gonna most likely check out pretty much everything of the season.
Yeah,
guys.
also we're mentioning probably.
But yeah, But I mean, there are certain shows in which we are wary about, But keep in mind, we are gonna try to at least check out and every single one and go into it with an open mind. So,
Right.
Because I mean, that's what you have to do if you consider yourself a true anime fan. You're someone who watches also seasonal shows at the same time. You're going into it with a grain of salt that yes, these shows might sound really great, but even the best stuff can become the worst stuff. I mean,
yeah,
it's very possible. So just gotta like Miles said, you gotta go into it with an open mind to it, and that's it.
Agreed.
But speaking of open mind, I have a big open mind for this Koiwa Amagari no Uni.
Oh.
yeah. By which
I
studio?
am very, very curious about this. Which studio? Romance, Senine. The fact that it's essentially the most taboo story you can get because of the age gap of a high school.
What is it, like a 28-year age gap or something? Dude,
yes,
it's almost a 30-year age gap.
Yeah, she is. I think I think
she's 17 or 18.
Like, it's the Garden of Words.
And then it's got 40. Yeah, but Garden of Words was short at least. That this is gonna be a series. So that intrigues the crap out of me because he's 45 years old.
Yeah, how is that?
That is nuts. And it's not, but it's not trying to be like that one show that we watched. That pervy. I forget the name of that, but with the teacher and the student.
The teacher and the student. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not trying to be like a pervy show. It looks like.
Yeah, right. It's trying to actually be a legit, serious romance, like
right.
With the handling this topic, tackling this concept.
And that to me, truly, like I am so intrigued by that. I remember reading that. I'm like, wait, what? I did a double take. I'm like, wait, 45 years old with a high school student. What?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'll check it out.
I think it could be like a citrus sort of like in the way it like divides the community, not in terms of the source material, but the way like people are just gonna be like, what? I'm not watching this. 17-year-old girl, 45-year-old man, like hell no, get me out of here. And then there's some people who like
get me out of here.
like then there could be people like us who are going into it with like an open mind, and we actually want to see how they actually tackle this sort of taboo and being like the age gap. So which in Japan, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I don't really know.
I still think it's a big deal.
But like,
knowledge, I mean,
in terms of like how say us Americans look at it, it's kind of like, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm presuming that their thing of this is a little less because I mean they're used to like arranged marriages, and sometimes, from what I know, there are arranged marriages where someone could be 13, 14 years old, but someone
has a
30-something years old.
Yeah. The art animation looks pretty dang good. The music is going to be incredible. I mean, you have Aimer, I think, on the ED. I think I linked you that track earlier or a couple days ago, Aaron. The ending theme for this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The song by Aimer.
I liked it. I said.
Yeah. So the voice acting also sounds really good. So really, I think what it'll come down to with this series is the story. I mean, and that's really because I think everything else will be like pretty good, with studio, but really the story is the big kind of question mark, I guess, right now you could say, how they're going to handle it. So yes, I'm excited for it though. I mean, I think,
same here.
Yeah,
same here.
I think it could be one that I actually really end up enjoying, but we'll see. So
yeah, me too. So with that said, that is it for Koiwa Omarigari. Next up we have Card Captor Sakura. Which is basically another season of the Card Captor Sakura series.
Which is
it's done by Madhouse, and it has, Card Captor Sakura does have a big fan base. I personally have never watched the series.
I've seen the original.
So you seen the original?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't saw it.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's probably not going to be your cup of tea, to be honest with you. Yeah. Even mine, to be honest with you.
Personally, I don't think.
What is it? A magical girl show or what?
It's a magical girl.
It's essentially, where she has the
ability. 70-something episodes of magical girls. Isn't the first season like
good.
70?
It's good
because it's a long. It's not besides being that, but it's also
by Clamp. It was originally done by Clamp.
They really dive into their world lore. Like they make sure you know who these people are, what's going on around you, and they want you to understand everything.
Have you watched Chobits, by the way, Memory?
No, I haven't.
Dude,
okay, then you need to watch Chobits. Like that's some of Clamp's best work.
Wait, isn't Code Geass Clamp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
They
thought
do the
so.
art. They are
Definitely, definitely check out Chobits.
Yeah.
You could
Definitely
you
check
could usually tell their art style if their characters look super elongated,
like super skinny.
Their
Yeah,
legs,
like-
their legs are super,
every character
Dude,
by is
every single clamp work. I mean, like legit, even the manga,
Mhm.
anime,
They're like
everything have
toothpicks.
all that where their legs are. My friend used to hate that because my friend's an artist and he used to go, "Why do they always make the super long legs and arms, dude?" Like that's their art style. I mean, that's just how they work. But
Right.
But yeah, we're not gonna be checking out Cardcaptor Sakura
Yeah.
just simply because of the fact that personally it's not our cup of tea, and we haven't really
And
seen.
I haven't
much
seen
of
a
it, so-
long time since I've seen the first season.
It's kinda
I watched
interesting,
it as a
though.
kid.
It's kind of interesting though. It's kind of what I think I mentioned it earlier, but Madhouse is doing 3 shows for the winter. So
Travis talked about that earlier too.
yeah. So I think Overlord's probably gonna be a
Kinda
single
scary.
core again. Probably 13 episodes, 12, 13. I think that Antarctica one will be 12 or 13 too. But they've already confirmed that this sequel for Cardcaptor Sakura is gonna be 22 episodes. So they
Pushing
probably
it.
have different groups working on each series. I'd imagine that'd be the smartest thing to do.
Well, for
Um,
Cardcaptor, I have to presume the people like they have a whole different team for
Yeah,
that completely
yeah.
because it's
Probably, yeah.
it's a
Right,
whole different
right.
art style than. But I mean, if you really think about it, though, look at Overlord. Look at the what was it called? The other one? I forgot the name of it already.
A place further than the universe.
Right.
They both
And
look
then you
pretty
have-
good. They're both pretty.
They do look really good, but they also look super different. So it's like
Yeah.
I can't assume that they're using the same team.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
they're doing
They're splitting it
similar
up.
things, but yeah.
There's probably the same team that worked on season 1 for Overlord working on season
Right.
2. They got a whole new team on on a place further than the universe, and then they have
For Cardcaptor
for
Sakura.
Cardcaptor Sakura,
Right.
the sequel. So.
Still, it is pushing a studio. Like I mean, they're
Yeah.
probably using a lot of their people for it. But
Yeah. They probably
yeah,
have a lot of
definitely.
freelancers coming in and
I
whatnot.
feel
too.
like you're gonna have delays on these shows though. For some reason, I really
yeah.
feel like that. Especially with the universe one, I feel like that's gonna be delayed several times for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, from the start, it looks pretty good, but I think if a series were to take a hit, I think it would be the place further than the universe one.
They
But we'll
have
see.
to because Overlord
Yeah.
can't. Overlord just
Oh.
got too much popularity. The other one's original, so it's like
Yeah, unless they just seriously have just 3 separate dedicated teams to each project, then I think it'll be fine. But we'll see. We'll see.
time
Yeah.
will tell.
All right.
So yeah, that's it for Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yep.
Next is Saiki Kuso, which is like I
idea about it.
believe this is the
I've heard of it, but no idea. About it.
isn't this like the 3rd or 4th season
Second
of Saiki
season,
Kuso?
yeah, the disastrous life.
Oh, it's
of
the 2nd season.
Psyche
I thought this
K.
had more seasons.
No, it's
Or
the
was there,
second
or
season.
were there different cores? Was that it?
They did it like it was so weird with this show because somewhere it was aired it was like 2 or 3 minute episodes, right? And there was like
Yeah.
a bunch of episodes. But then it
120.
it aired
Holy
yeah,
shit.
120, but it was like 2 or 3 minutes each episode. But then the first season came out and it was like 26 episodes, but it was like full length episodes. So they kind of like they had all the short episodes and then they like condensed it into one series or whatever.
Huh,
Like it
that's
aired
weird.
it aired so weirdly. Like I don't even like, but I heard it's good.
Yeah, I heard it's good too
Uh,
because I know that in Shonen Jump, that this actually is kind of high in the polls.
Yeah.
Got
As
8
far as
the
I'm
anime's
aware
got
of.
8.54. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's a comedy based series
Yeah.
and supernatural school shonen. So yeah, I know this one is pretty high up in the polls when it comes to Shonen Jump. So, but I've never checked it out, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
can't
what
tell
to
I haven't
expect.
either. I can't-
I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
we can't
so-
really
so-
say much on it, so I
So we're
don't
just
think.
gonna skip over this one.
Yeah.
So, but next
Oh,
up we have Harakai Jozu no Takagi-san.
I'm not even gonna watch that. To be honest with you.
Shin A animation. Let's see if this. I'm
If
gonna
you
read
blush,
this.
you lose.
Oh, you want to read it, memory? Go ahead.
Well, I just read the first line.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do
All
it.
right, go
If you
ahead.
blush, you lose. Living by the principle, the middle schooler Nishikata gets constantly made fun of by his seat neighbor Takagaki-san. With his pride shattered to pieces, he vows to turn the table and get back at her someday. And so he attempts to tease her day after day, only to find himself victim to Taki-san's ridicule again sooner than later. Will he be able to make Taki-san blush from embarrassment even once in the end? That sounds so mad.
I was about to say it sounds so cheesy.
So mad. Like,
Is this like
ugh.
Masamune Kun Jr. or something? Like
And it
Masamune
says,
Kun, like,
and it says
I
romance
gotta make
in
her.
the title too.
I gotta make her
Or
blush.
genre,
Like,
excuse me.
I think this is just gonna be like a cheesy little comedy.
I'm
Yeah,
passing
it's good,
on it,
yeah.
passing on it.
Yeah.
I might try out the
Pass?
first episode, but really,
gonna
I
try
don't
it?
think this one's gonna.
Aaron, you're passing. You said.
Yeah, I'm passing.
I'll try.
I'll give it.
I'll give it like 1 or 2 episodes.
All right, you let us know how it is, then, man.
Yeah, let us know
Good
how
luck.
it is. and
Yeah.
then we'll
Good
watch
luck.
it.
Yeah, good luck.
Next up is Gokoku.
I'm actually
by
looking forward to
Geno
this.
Studio.
Yeah,
It's
same.
interesting to me.
This is the new
Jury-
studio. This is the new studio that
Oh, this is the new
yeah,
studio.
they finished Manglobe's project for Genocidal Oregon.
Oh wow.
Because
Okay.
Manglobe started Genocidal Oregon, they went bankrupt, and then Geno Studio took over.
Hey, this is gonna be airing on my birthday.
Is it really? Oh shit! Yeah,
Hey.
January. Oh,
It's a sign.
yeah, shit. Yeah, you should watch
It's
it.
a seinen too. Okay, all right. I'm
Yeah.
interested. Hold on, let me read this. Psychological too.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Oh god.
Oh,
Jerry
Here
Yukawa
we
lives
go.
with her neat father and brother, her retired grandfather, her sister, a single mother, and her young nephew. One day, her nephew and brother are kidnapped for ransom. Having only 30 minutes to meet the demands of the kidnappers, Jerry, who realizes there is not enough time to prepare the money, decides to head for their rescue by herself with knife in hand when her grandfather uses a mysterious stone passed on in the Yukawa family to stop time. In a world where everyone and everything are inert. Jury and her father and grandfather run to rescue the two, but at the kidnappers' hideout, they soon realize that they are not the ones who can move about in this still world.
Okay,
That's actually
yo,
kinda cool.
yo,
That's what I told you. I was
this
looking forward because I
sounds-
read that the other
That's
day.
kinda
Yeah,
cool.
I
It sounds
just
interesting.
kind of saw the
I get a
cover.
birthday present.
This sounds pretty promising, to be
It
honest.
does. It sounds interesting.
And
Yeah,
for
that-
a
it
new
definitely
studio, I mean, I'm excited to see what they can do with it
I
because
want to see what the manga did.
It's a mystery, so you know what's gonna have some thrills. It's a
Yeah.
psychological.
Ooh.
You know, it's you know,
Manga's,
think it's
well,
a-
the manga's not too bad. 6.86.
6.86.
how many
So
users
it's
have
kinda
rated
average.
it? It's probably
It's
not
kinda-
that popular. I bet-
82. Yeah.
yeah,
It's not-
only 82
82,
people have
okay.
rated
Yeah.
it, so you
I
can't
mean,
really
it's-
you take that with a grain of salt, really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You got a
But
point.
I mean,
That kind of sounds
yeah,
interesting, though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it does.
It's finished too, so I mean that's a good thing. So we won't get like a
They're also,
Open
I
ended
mean,
shit.
yeah, it has to. It's a sci-fi series. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's dealing with stopping time,
I mean,
and time manipulation.
I love stories about time in general, so it's like that's why it intrigues me.
I
'cause I
think the
wanna see
English.
how it works
I think the English.
Steins Gate.
What is the English translation? Moment
Exactly.
by moment or something like that. Moment by moment or moment to
It's
moment.
Coca-Cola. No, I'm just kidding. Moment by moment, yes.
Moment by moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to
Oh.
see. I'm excited to see what they can do with this. To be honest. I mean,
Nah.
for like a new studio, like I said, I think they're working on like Golden Kamui in the spring. One that I'm really excited for, but that's to come. So yeah, we'll see. It's by like the director, I guess, of let me see, Amnesia.
That's
I've never seen
scary.
the anime.
I've played the game for a few endings.
Wait, they like the game?
For Amnesia, yeah.
The director
Not the-
of
not-
the
you're not talking
Amnesia,
about the Dark
the
Descent, are you?
Amnesia.
No, I'm
Amnesia
talking about
anime.
I'm talking about the Otome game, the one that you play
Oh,
as the
okay.
girl.
All right.
Let's say you guys are talking about.
I was
the
like,
other one.
what?
Yeah.
No, does that-
So he directed that and Sacred 7.
I've heard of Sacred 7. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Amnesia is not a horrible story. It has some really dark twisted things in it. So I mean,
Yeah, I think this is like, so like Amnesia was one of his first time, I think, directing. Either is that or Sacred 7. So this is gonna be kind of this guy's.
it could
another one for
be
him.
good. We'll
Yeah.
say it could.
We'll see. But though the premise does sound pretty promising, we'll have to kind of like hold our tongue on that one though, because
Yeah,
obviously we won't really know until it gets here. But I think it could surprise me, surprise us, surprise a lot of people. That could be another one.
Speaking of surprises, the next one, Junji Ito collection.
Yes. Okay. Really quick. I just want to talk about this really quick.
I want to talk about it too, so don't worry. Go for
You
it.
guys
Okay.
can take this one.
All right. Well, okay. So, as someone who has recently stumbled across Junji Ito's work, like
Right.
this guy, if you want good horror, like for like manga wise, when it comes to just stories that can really disturb you, definitely check out like Junji Ito. Like he has some really good stories like Tomoe and also Uzumaki. Like, okay, speaking about Uzumaki, when this got announced, not the collection, but when they said that Junji Ito's work is
getting an anime adaptation. Like
You're reading
obviously,
Uzumaki, weren't you?
yeah, I was reading Uzumaki at the
Yeah,
time. I was
I
like,
remember
that,
yo, all signs point to Uzumaki. Uzumaki
Right.
is like, in a sense,
Well,
it kind of is Junji Ito's magnum opus.
but he's
So-
considered in Japan. Junji Ito is considered probably one of the top horror manga artists of like
Yeah.
all times. You know, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Which one did we
as a
watch
fa-
together?
we watched Geo, which is
Geo.
considered his.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Gyo,
gosh, that
Gyo,
was
yeah.
that was so messed up.
But
Yeah,
you know what's
but
funny?
it was
That's
good
considered-
though.
No, it was good. That's considered his least popular work. Like people
yeah,
are
yeah,
very
definitely.
mixed with that, and yet I love that story. I think that story is actually very interesting.
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
a fan of Junji Ito, I mean, from like the gate, I've been a fan of him for God knows how long. I will always say that this dude is he breaks the wall on horror. Like he
He
changes
like breaks
the
the
whole.
mold.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Did it?
He goes against the tide with horror because
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
just trying to be like he has visceral stuff with his works. Like he'll have people.
It's not like
exploding.
jump scares and shit.
Right.
like-
He's trying not to even go for that. He's trying to make you get freaked out
Yeah.
by giving you stories of these characters where they're normal characters, half of them. These are people that are just everyday people being put into some of the situations that you're like, what the hell, is going on? Like one day.
I'm gonna have to watch this during the day.
Yeah, it's and that's
Not
the
at
thing too, is
night.
that
You know, this is. I don't know if it was you, Aaron, but I know for a fact that when it comes to Junji Ito, didn't
he was doing PT, by the way.
Guillermo, I can't remember his name. Basically, all right, I'm gonna.
Guillermo del Toro.
Del Toro, yeah, Del Toro.
He was working with Hideo Kojima and
and they kind of
make
inspired
PT,
by
Silent Hills.
Junji Ito to Silent Hills.
He was actually going to be the artist for the monsters in Silent Hills.
Wow. Yeah,
He was going to do all and they showed some of the stuff they were supposed to do, quote unquote. I think like rough sketches or something.
Why did that game get
And
canceled?
it got canceled. That's because at the time Konami was having all the issues with
Yeah.
But that goes to show you like that would have been a powerhouse because you have Guillermo
yeah.
del Toro, who's also a great freaking horror story and just a novelist in general. Then you have Junji Ito doing art for these things when his art is, I mean, just look right now, go and Mal, look at the art for this.
Yeah.
And tell me there's nothing weird about that. Like you're looking at something wrong then. Half of those things don't look correct. But that's the beauty of Junji Ito is that he doesn't do typical things. He messes with you.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing I'm interested with the collection though. The collection, and this is for people that are maybe fans of it, don't go into this thinking that this is his bigger stuff. This is not his bigger works. This is not like
this is more of his short stories.
These are the stories that you find in those novels, or those manga, excuse me.
I know that one of the stories though is going to be Tomoe, which is actually pretty good from what I've heard.
Right, it's supposed to be a thing that was, I think, part of Tomei. I don't think it's going to be the main story of Tomei. I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
I wonder if it's going to be shorter length. I wonder if it's going to be shorter length episodes or like full length.
To me, I would say that each episode, I'm going to call it right now, is going to be like either
length.
15-minute long or 16-minute long episodes. Because I don't see this being 20-minute episodes. Because some of the stories he has, don't get me wrong, some of them are like about 50 to 60
I wonder
pages.
where the hell this is going to air on TV.
Now, what scares me also about this is, don't get me wrong, I want to review this so hardcore because I love Junji Ito. I really do. But I'm so terrified because I feel like a single review of this will get me immediately striked.
I don't know if it will because it's by Studio
know,
Dean. Studio Dean worked on. Didn't Studio Dean do
Studio Dean
JoJo?
has done a lot of stuff.
Showa.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of a different studio. But I don't really think you'll have a problem with this, to be honest with you. I mean, there is like horror-esque, but I mean, people talk about freaking scary movies over on YouTube.
No, I'm not saying the violent elements because I mean, right off the top, like
No, he's just saying because of like.
It's because of the name. The name is a big thing in Japan. That's the problem.
It was confirmed for 12 episodes.
Maybe.
It's for 12 episodes.
12 episodes and 2 OVAs.
Okay, well, that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna say the OVAs right now. I'm gonna say are probably
Studio Dean's worked on a lot of good stuff though. So
they've also worked on some adaptations too.
They worked on Super Lovers.
I think they did Sakamoto too.
No, just kidding.
No, they've done as of recent. Studio Dean to me has ascended from where they started because Studio Dean really destroyed a lot of the shows that I used to love, and then they got better recently. So I'm like, I think it's going to be very similar to this is called this anime called World of Yumazaki, which was like every episode was a horror story but with different animation and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I know a few of these stories, man, and they're good. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so it's gonna be 12 episodes and 2 OVAs, and the 2 OVAs are gonna be Tomy Part 1 and Tomy Part 2.
Oh, see, they're gonna wow. So you know what they're gonna have to do though? They're gonna have
I'm
to
probably
condense the
gonna-
shit out of that.
This is
So-
probably gonna be one of the series.
So
I
that
review.
means the Tomy
We'll see.
Tomy Part 1 and Part 2 aren't gonna be on TV. So that means they're probably really
They're gonna have to
Yeah.
be condensed, dude. Because I mean, like, let me see if I
Yeah.
can find it real fast. Hold on. I have it up here. So 1 second, folks. This is Tomy, the whole series. Nate, check this out.
oh man.
This is the whole series of Tomy in one
Oh
book.
wow.
I don't know how you're gonna do that in two episodes.
And
That's
this,
what scares me.
and this
That's-
deserves a
I
mockery.
gotta get that next, but
This is not-
man,
bro.
Yeah, I've got nothing to show
Anime-
off. Shit.
Anime-
yeah, I'll throw this to you, and then you like pick up. It's like, oh
Anime
shit.
adaptation. Anime adaptation. All right. Anyway,
We'll stop fanning over it for now.
anyway, we're gonna stop talking about Jinji
Yeah,
Ito. Again,
good shit. Watch it.
If you haven't
Let me
seen
know.
his stuff, definitely check it out
This
because
Friday on
it's gonna be
Crunchyroll.
good. But next up we have Hakata Tongotsu Ramens
I was talking to Nate about this.
Um,
I'm actually interested in
by
this.
Studio Satellite.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this. This sounds very. It's all action apparently. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like.
It's gonna be
Really?
a very, very action heavy series.
I mean, look at the genres. There's only action for it. Like, that's
Just
all it
action.
is.
You know what? This is gonna be another taboo tattoo, guys.
Oh no! Shut up, dude. Shut up. Let me see how she with the light novel.
It sounds like
Well,
a pretty it seems like a
manga's
pretty not unique,
decent, but it's only
generic
got
setup,
4
like a generic story sort of.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could be one of those like action series that we need for a season, because there's always like one of those just like straight up action shows that I have.
Yeah,
to
like you
watch,
turn
so-
your brain off slightly. You just
Right,
watch
right.
people hack it away each other or kill each other.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But it looks good. It does look interesting. Satellite has done good stuff before. I forget off the top of my head what they've done. I know they've done a few
They did,
decent series.
Across Delta.
They've done Fairy Tail, Log Horizon, Hellsing Ultimate. They've done. See, they've had some good stuff. Suka Suka
Yeah.
was one of the things. Non-Baka. Let's not talk about Non-Baka. Nor No Baka Fool or Quarion Neville. Okay, they've done some good stuff and some.
I think it could be pretty
questionable things.
enjoyable.
What's that?
I think it could be
I'm
pretty
looking forward to it.
enjoyable. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
Not really much to
Alright.
say on that one.
No, it's
Yeah. It just seems kind of your typical generic action heavy show with the
Yeah.
setup and all that. There's like
Yeah.
they're like a group of professional killers like stopping crime or whatever they're doing, something like that. So, when haven't we saw that before?
many times. All right, what are we doing next?
Oh, that's that
Yeah.
Pop Team Epic. Oh god.
Yeah,
I've had people tell me to watch that.
But
I'm like,
me
eh.
you know
saying,
what?
dude, that it's like
Th-
really, it's just a meme show.
It is. It's actually it's
It's
actually
not a
based on
full
one of
Kono
those.
manga.
Dude, in
Yeah,
the preview, they're going like they're flipping off the.
What?
Like, yeah, dude, they flip off
gotta
the
watch
like
this, though.
camera, like the two.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch. I gotta watch the trailer for this.
I mean, just
Maybe
look at
I'll-
look at the character designs. Like, look
They
at
have
the like.
big heads and they're tiny.
It just looks like.
This is gonna be the comedy of the season. It will be.
Think so?
Because from what I've seen, like I checked out just a little bit of like some of the manga panels, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
It looks so
You know?
goofy, dude.
Yeah, it is goofy. So I'm ready for this. Pop Team Epiku. I'm ready for this.
So many
So
people
I'm
have told
gonna
me to
check it
watch it. I'm just like, all right, I'll
You know what?
try it.
I'll watch the first episode. I'm not reviewing it, but I'll watch the first.
But
episode.
now the thing about it being like a 4 manga, I
Mostly
mean,
short
probably
episodes,
be
13 minutes,
shorts.
probably.
yeah, it
Shorts,
might be short episodes. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably not gonna be full.
Think of like
length, but-
Aho Girl type things. Like,
But then again, I mean, technically, if I remember correctly, at least I believe Nichijou was kind of like the same thing.
well,
Monthly
Other
Girls,
Manga Die also is
monthly
in
Girls
all
Nozaki-kun's based off of
and they have
Come
full.
on,
They have
too.
full. They have full episodes. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible to do.
Most of the
full.
time, they are shorter episodes, though. They're
Usually,
half
I mean, like
length.
We'll
Suzerain
see.
Children, for example, is a 4
Yeah.
coma, and it's only 13-minute long episodes.
Yeah,
Aho
Aho
Girl,
Girl.
13 minutes, etc.
Yeah, we'll see.
Looks good. I mean, maybe
We'll
I'll
see.
reserve my thing of what I said because originally I wasn't even gonna watch this, but now
I think straight up comedies should for the most part. I think most of them should be shorter. To be completely
Yeah,
honest.
I think they work better when they're shorter. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
All right.
Killing bites.
Oh yeah, okay. So we're gonna go on. Next up is Killing Bites, which kind of like the artwork in a way reminds me a little bit of a Kame ga Kill.
Furries.
Just a little bit. And
That's
furries.
legit what it is.
And furries.
No, seriously, all these girls,
Hold
all
on,
these people are based off of like animals, apparently, or something like that.
Okay, this is gonna be a seinen series, but it's also an ecchi series, so it's
Horror.
definitely not gonna.
That's
It's definitely
horror in it?
yeah, it's definitely not going to be taken seriously if that's the case. So, but here's the synopsis. People have been created that are human-animal hybrids, and powerful businesses bet on the outcome of their duels.
Oh, Judy Tyson.
I was just about to say that, dude.
College student Nomato Yuya's casual acquaintances ask him to drive them around to pick up girls one day, which he soon finds out means by force. Oh, God.
What?
The girl they kidnap is an animal-human hybrid named Hitomi, who slaughters all of them except Yuya. Hitomi is a honey. Okay, hold on. First off,
she's a honey badger.
Exactly? Hitomi is a honey badger, which has been called the most fearless of all animals. Now Hitomi is assigned to stay with Yuya for his protection.
For his
That
protection.
Sounds fucking
For his
stupid.
protection.
That sounds stupid, dude.
I legit want to watch it now, though. It sounds so stupid, but I kind of want to watch it now.
That sounds dumb.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry.
It sounds brain dead dumb, but I want to
Yeah.
watch it now. I'm curious.
Yeah, for the ecchi.
No, I'm like legit how they're gonna
Brand
execute
new
it.
director and everything. Like, yeah.
Oh god, the manga has a lot of users, and it's a 7.04.
It's like, hi, I'm a honey badger. I'm just gonna kill all your friends, and now I guess I'm forced
Should
to
I try to
actually
come and
serve
pick
you.
her up?
Like, I don't
Try to
understand.
force her to pick. You know, it's like
I already know how that whole thing's gonna play out. Like, he's gonna.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's fan service.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
horror fan service.
She's gonna kill all his friends. And then somehow she ends up protecting him. Like, and
legit looks like Judy Tyson though. Like, I mean, look at the art for it. It's Judy Tyson.
and maybe it'll be one of those guilty pleasures.
Who knows?
We'll see.
we'll see.
Next
Alright,
one, I know
but-
Blake is excited for.
Next up is
And
definitely
probably
something
Miles
that
also.
I'm excited for. I'm excited.
Come on.
But well, I mean, I guess not. Well, I mean, I'm excited for it that it's getting a continuation. It's Gintama. It's the final
Right.
arc of Gintama. I mean, I'm probably the only one that's going to be talking about this, so I'll just briefly
Yeah.
cover this really quick.
I'm
But
not
I
caught
just-
up. I'm not caught up.
Yeah.
We're not.
I've
caught
just
up.
I've just recently been starting to catch up with Gintama. I'm almost on the 4 Divas arc. So I'm on the episode like 200s list. Yeah, you won't know, but the viewers who watch Gintama will know.
Right.
But the final arc of Gintama is going to be bittersweet because Gintama is a great series. I always knocked it for it being, long, and a comedy series. But once I checked it out, I was like, yo, this is actually pretty entertaining.
But it goes to
Pretty
show
good.
any series that lasts that long should have a something good about
Oh
it.
yeah, it should. It should have an ending. I mean, it should have an ending. But it's just gonna be kind of sad for everyone who has been watching Gintama up to this point. When this airs, I'm still going to be.
Catching up.
This is also airing on my birthday. So,
Damn.
but like when it comes to those who are who have been watching Gintama for so long, it's gonna be definitely like a bittersweet sort of feeling when this series does leave. I'll still be able to watch it because I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to get to the final arc soon. By the time I actually get to that point, this series will probably be will end already because I have another 100 episodes to go to. But regarding Gintama, it's gonna be good. I mean, it's awesome. Gintama, Gintama.
Right.
Gintama. It has a new game coming out also on the 26th, I believe. So definitely check that out as well. But anyway,
We
that's
can skip the
Gintama
next
for you.
two.
We can skip the next two.
Yeah, Gendo Guardian second season. Who cares about that?
Okay.
If you do, I'm sorry.
Yuru Cam just
Okay.
looks like one of those cute girls doing cute things.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll skip that. Next up, then, I guess we have Toji no Miko. It's by Studio Gokumi. It's an original action fantasy series, and this is the synopsis. There's an evil creature called Aratama that attacks people, and a group of Miko has been exercising those creatures using swords since olden times. Those who wear uniforms and swords are called Toji, who are officially called Tokubetsu Saishi Kitokai, Special Ritual Maneuver Team in the Police Association. Yeah, I know. They are officially approved to wield the swords by the government officials.
Oh, so 100. Oh, okay.
This
The
sounds like
government-
every we get 1 or 2 of these a season. It's just a bunch of girls fighting.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Anyway, skip over that one.
Yeah.
And next we have Nanatsu
Whatever
no
that is.
Bitoku, which if you guys remember Sin no Natsu no Taizai, aka the 7 mortal sins, this is the other one, but it's actually angels this time, and not like the devils.
Weird.
So
Angels with very big chests, I noticed.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm not complaining about it, I'm just saying.
So they're both gonna be just like Sin no Natsu no Taizai was. This one's gonna be very, very raunchy as well, except it's focusing on the angels and not the devils like we had in the Sin no Natsu no Taizai. So, guilty pleasure series without a doubt. I don't think really anybody enjoys this series for like the story or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
there's some big story there.
I'd kind of be surprised, but yeah, there's not really much to say about that. So
there's a story here. It's in their chest.
yeah,
like
it's
90% of them.
Much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely tell by the promotional artwork.
Dude, they have some chests. I mean, stories.
Yo, what do you guys think about Gaku and babysitters?
Yeah, no. Anyways,
there's
done by Brain's Base. It's done by Brain's
there's a lot of like, especially towards the
heard
bottom
people
of this
mention it.
list. As we move towards the bottom, there's a lot of slice of life comedies.
yeah, like I mean, this whole thing starts becoming
Like
slice
there's
of
a
life things.
crazy amount of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, Gaku and Babysitters. I mean, it kind of just sounds like your typical slice of life series. I don't know. I mean, it looks like these two guys or this group have to babysit all these kids.
yeah, apparently,
Pretty much.
after the parents are killed in a plane crash, he has to do that. Apparently, so it's like they brothers have
Hey
to do
man,
that.
gotta survive somehow, man.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I might. That's like with a lot of these slice of life comedies. Like I might try them out an episode or two, see how like, because with this previous season I kind of regretted it because I didn't check out a lot of the slice of life comedies, but then a lot of them actually had really, really positive receptions.
Right.
So now I'm trying to catch up and watch those like Blend S, like a what was
I'm watching that right now. Actually, I love Blend S, man.
Yeah, Blend
Yeah,
S.
I
and
wish
there
I would've
was-
watched it too.
There were some other ones from the fall that
Smile,
I skipped on. So
Statistics.
I mean, with a lot of these, like Gaku and Babysitters, Ryuo no Oshigato, it's shogi.
Oh, March Comes Like a Lion. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
I guess yeah, it's the main guy's like a shogi professional, and he has to train or teach some like 8-year-old kid how to play shogi.
Oh,
a 9-year-old turns
my
out.
bad,
that's so
my
much
bad.
fun.
Even better, like
dude, she's at least slightly older, dude.
even better, man. Like, thank you, thank you for correcting me. 8 to 9, like, yeah. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
I don't know about this one though.
I'm gonna watch it now, dude, because she's 9 and not 8. Like, dude, yes. Oh man. Yeah, we got that shogi one. She's 9. My bad. We have a.
Anyways, next up is Basilisk.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is
for
basically
fans-
the second season.
yeah, for fans of Basilisk, I mean, like I think I've read some of the manga for it. I've never really seen the anime for it. People are happy about this. If you've not heard of Basilisk or have no idea what this is, it's understandable because it's super old. So
It's a seinen historical, which is kind of cool. I've never seen the original.
I heard the
original's
original.
touted as one of the like great stories. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the original is like one of the better like historical kind of like samurai shows or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
I might
Not
check
like
it out the first season, but I'm
not gonna be able-
and other stuff. So
Too much
yeah,
stuff.
I'm not
At
gonna
this point,
be able to. I want to catch up. Eventually, I will. But something that I
Yeah.
also took note of is that they switched like animation studios and staff for this second season.
You could tell. Well, you could tell from the characters.
Yeah,
I'll
and
tell you
it's
right now, the
by
main dude
yeah,
looks
it's by
completely
that it's by the studio that does like all those hentai. So
Oh well.
yeah, so I don't know how that's
Okay.
gonna turn out, but
It's not a good idea when that studio takes like that. No.
yeah,
7 Arcs Pictures.
we're not gonna be able to catch up, pretty much. So,
Yeah, what
what do we got next? Second season of
The
Tokurambu
crappy
Hanamaru.
one, the comedy one. No, move on.
Move on. Oh,
Yeah, we didn't
okay.
watch that.
Yomamushi
I
Pedal Glory Line, which is basically the 4th season of Yomamushi Pedal. You have dudes riding on bicycles in freaking hype fashion, like Haikyuu and Kuroko no Basket
Right.
fashion. So honestly, like it's a good series. It's a good series. It's a good sports series.
You're
I'm
caught
gonna
up,
be
right?
watching this.
Oh yeah, you are
Yeah.
caught up. Yep.
I'm gonna be watching this. But there's nothing really else much to say about this series, but it's a good sports anime. So I mean, I'm gonna check it out.
By the way, I want to read the synopsis for the next one. By the way, just the beginning of it. I don't want to read the whole thing. Just the beginning.
All right, what is it called? Marchin.
When the two girls meet, magic begins.
Oh, you know how this one's gonna
Just
go.
let that sink in
I
for a
mean, look
second.
at the image.
When
It's all
the
girls.
two girls meet, magic begins. Now I understand that's probably not the premise of this.
Yuri
No, I get that's probably not the premise, but just maybe a different synopsis would have been a better idea for that. Not, oh, magic begins with two girls
I'm looking
meet.
at this description and I see like talk of like Cinderella and
Yeah, it looks really meh. So I'm watching that.
this is another like I think it's a slice of life comedy probably. Magic.
The
fantasy
next show
school.
though, I suggest us talking about the next show. Definitely.
What's
Hakume to Mikoshi.
Oh yeah, I'm actually really interested in this one.
Oh,
I've
I Studio
heard a
Lurch.
lot of things from this.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard a lot of
it's
things
about
from
like the
this.
little people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
9 centimeters tall,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's like
3.5 inches.
yeah, that's like very small.
It's a seinen too. That's
What's interesting. Like I
Yeah,
almost
like-
feel like it could be like a Made in Abyss type thing with the art being very cutesy looking and stuff, but then
Yeah, maybe.
people getting crushed or killed ways.
That's
Oh,
messed
gee.
up.
Dude, but
I'm interested in it though.
sure, people. I guarantee. Listen, I'm just gonna say this without even watching the show or knowing anything about the source
Someone's getting
material.
stomped.
Someone's getting smashed.
No, it's not gonna be like that. It's slice of life in the title.
It's seinen though. Listen, for
So,
sure, people
dude,
wouldn't.
Seinen just means a dog.
But listen,
dude.
how is this a slice of life if like isn't a slice of life supposed to be like something like me or
Relaxing
you?
comedy.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like something me or you would do in our everyday lives.
Well, you know what? The best example.
Like
no,
there
look
ain't no fucking tiny
look at-
people.
look at Centaur no Niami, for example. That show is really stupid, right? I mean, I kid you not. That's a stupid show all the way through.
Right.
However, episode 7 does something very interesting, and it still reels me from what it does, where it goes into this like fictional version of World War II, and it has people in concentration camps.
Whoa.
So you go legit from this comedy goofy thing with all these girls, and they're doing cutesy stuff and removing their clothes and checking each other's private parts, etc. Then you go to World War II to see people in concentration camps and being prosecuted, and how people hate them for being a certain type of race of monster creature. That's weird, okay?
Right.
So that's why I can't. And that's a slice of life also, and a seinen.
Well, I
So-
guess it makes sense. Like
Possible.
if you have like other beings or other creatures or other in this case short people, or
Someone's
whatever
getting
they
smashed.
are,
Just say it.
doing things that everyday like humans would do. I guess that kind of makes
Right.
sense, like for a slice of life. But we'll see.
Maybe we do have short people. Maybe we don't know. We can't see
Hey.
them like 3.5 inches tall.
Hey, who knows? We could be stomping on a bunch of people.
Like you think it's an ant. I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
they're called
stupid ant.
ants. They're called ants. Anyways,
Plot twist, they're ants.
That's how the world perceived them.
Oh man.
but the next two shows,
The next one looks
that's
like
3, I think.
the next one looks like a Love is like a Cocktail, like another one, but except just I think the girl doesn't really have a romance. She's just a drunk.
she is. It's pretty much.
The way you said it, dude.
Like this is
Like
romance
she
is
don't have
drunk.
no man. She's just a drunk.
this is the description. She decided to live in a woman-only share house
Oh
you
with
go.
no.
people of different age and occupations. It's always fun when there's delicious alcohol and meal.
So it's a bunch of
Yeah,
girls
this
getting
is-
wasted and
no.
having a good time together.
This is
Yeah, no.
It's gonna be a
No,
short.
no.
I think that's gonna be a short.
Yeah,
No, it won't be. It won't be. It won't be. It's gonna be TV.
Slow start. I think it's by A1, isn't it?
This one you can throw to the side as well.
Is it by A1? Is it by A1?
Yeah.
It's
A1
by
baby.
A1.
I mean, A1's had a bunch of like pretty like highly acclaimed, highly
But it-
rated slice of life shows lately. But I mean,
It's just the whole story doesn't even really make me want
But
to watch
like
it.
this is the thing. I mean, this is probably not the show's fault. This is honestly probably also translators, doing this on like Mal or wherever else you're gonna go to this. But regarding these synopses do not grab.
it's
me at
hard.
all.
Yeah, it's hard to.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the only way you'll really
Also-
know is if you try it.
I'll say this with stuff like even when I write for stuff for different things that are really well known, because I've had to do this with series that are basically you've never heard of before in your life.
Right.
It's hard because even on Mal or even like Baka updates, for example, you'll have maybe one line of dialogue because no one has actually went and read the story or even looked at the source material to write more than a line of dialogue. Like, oh, this person is ready to get attacked by whatever. It's like that's the whole thing you get. So I mean, I feel for these people because you're basically probably having to write a synopsis for something that doesn't have traction with anyone. Has anyone heard of Slow Start?
No.
It's a 4-coma manga, but I've never heard of it before in my life, and I know a
That
lot
might be a short
of
too.
4-coma manga. Like I consider myself decently versed in that, and it's like, what's Slow Start? It's got 6 users who read the manga for it and reviewed it as a 7. Okay, so like, yeah, like legit.
Oh, guess what?
What?
Sanrio Danshi's being animated by Studio Period.
Okay, just skip over that one.
We could
Not even that.
It's
It's Mitsuboshi Colors. What is this?
Mitsuboshi.
They're colors, but they're 3 colors. That sounds racist.
The Colors are 3 cute little girls who hang out together and say they're protecting the peace of their city.
Red, blue, and yellow.
They have lots of fun together, doing stuff like playing games, solving puzzles, and going to the zoo. This anime follows their largely happy daily life.
See, like stuff like this. Like, I mean, that probably is what the show is gonna contain.
I think this
but
could be pretty like adorable, to be honest.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Like, no, not even like in a like weird way. It just seems like it could be like pretty like adorable, like.
I mean, yes, but
because they're like little girls and they don't even know like what the world is or anything. They just go out having fun, thinking they're superheroes or whatever.
They don't know what the world is.
They don't.
Well, it doesn't say their age, dude. I mean, they could be short, but
you're gonna have a lot of. You're gonna have a lot of.
I mean, they do say. And we're gonna get one of those like openings. It's just like a little girl
like they're spinning around.
Yeah, you're either gonna get the Seno.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Anyway,
yeah. Move on.
Oh, we have another borderline hentai. It looks like.
Yeah, and legit, the studio did that. I looked it up.
Yeah, they did the teacher and student one.
3 shows. Yeah, 3 shows, and it's like, oh,
and the Love Priest, the Saitama romance.
Yeah, they did the actually, did they do the Saitama one?
I think
Lilac.
they did.
I looked it up on Mal. They only have 3 shows registered on them.
Lilac? Oh, I've never heard of Lilac actually.
Yeah, I was saying I don't think it looks like the teacher or the student.
Yeah, it does. It's gonna be one of those.
This is basically the same thing again, but oh my god, are you doing jutsus, man? Oh god. Anyways, no, but seriously, legit, this is just a reverse of that, where you have the teacher, or not the teacher, but excuse me, you have the student being a 25-year-old going in place. Which, by the way, can we just say that makes no freaking sense whatsoever? I've never heard of my aunt going, "Oh, I'll go to school for you. Don't worry. Sure, I got you."
What the hell?
That's legit the story. Like, she's the aunt of this
stupid.
girl. And she's going to school for her to fill in for her because she doesn't want her to miss class.
Jeez.
What? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stupid. It looks stupid.
Japan.
Moving on.
What the fuck? Or what the fuck, Japan?
Hey man, Japan, Japan, man.
They bring us Japanese RPGs.
Miss Koizumi's ramen noodles.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to
we Americans have no room to talk for the recent thing that just happened.
Miss Koizumi's noodles or whatever are probably gonna be another typical slice of life comedy. Idolist 7, no. Soul Hunter, I think we're actually gonna plan on checking that out.
I want to see Soul Hunter because I've seen the original.
I haven't saw the original, but I guess this is a remake.
I own the original one too, and that's the thing. Like, Soul Hunter came out in 1999. I was 9 years old when this series came out.
I was 1 year old.
I don't know why. I don't know why the hell.
Is this Haku Koshin Engi?
Yeah.
That we're talking about?
Yeah, Soul Hunter.
It's just being remastered apparently. It's like, what?
Okay.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on the opening.
Shonen, demons,
right there is
adventure, supernatural, and fantasy. That could be cool.
Guys, we skipped one. We skipped Idolist 7. Let's go talk about that.
Yeah, no. It's basically
Idolist,
just a boys.
see you later.
It's a boys love live. That's what it is.
Yeah. Right.
So
I don't know, man. These other ones, I just.
It's a boy pop band.
What's Mira no Kaikata?
When high school student Sora Kashiwagi finds himself staring down an oversized package sent to him by a self-proclaimed adventurer father, the last thing he expects is for it to open inside by a little mummy so small it can fit in the palm of his hand.
What?
That story, I think I've heard of the web manga for this. He finds like a little mummy inside of it. I've heard of the story. That's why it sounds
That sounds
familiar.
kinda
Okay,
funny.
but see, like you gotta give me more details.
Like,
What about
so-
the mummy?
So like the mummy's like this little cute white little creature. Like it looks like Big Hero 6, but a little white tiny blob version of it. It's so small and short.
See,
I remember I
I kind of can appreciate this because it's trying to do something different with like the slice of life.
right.
Like,
I read some of this actually, and I'm like I completely forgot all about this series. It's actually really cute and adorable. Like legit, he just carries this thing around with him, and like he's trying to keep it out of harm's way and stuff, and it's adorable. I'm actually gonna watch this. I forgot all about this shit. I'm gonna watch that.
all right,
probably won't
that's
review it, but
really
I'll watch
it, I think.
That's really it. Yeah.
I mean,
As far as
Yeah,
oh
then
yeah,
everything else is continuing.
we didn't talk about Violet Evergarden, which
I mean, Violet, does anyone even like? It's coming out July 2nd, apparently.
well,
Yeah.
no, it came out at Anime Expo. They previewed the first episode or the first 2 episodes.
But so the first 2 episodes will come out before, so like sometime. But how many episodes is it supposed to be?
No, the first episode's gonna come out next week
Oh, okay, so
on
but
Netflix.
okay. Wait, is it like are they like full like well how long are they? Are they supposed to be short ones? Or
Oh,
what?
it's a full-length TV series.
Okay.
But
That's interesting.
they showed the first 2 episodes just for the fans at Anime Expo. Whoever
I got you.
was able to get in.
Okay.
I think it was
Yeah,
the
I
first
would check out
episode or
that.
the first 2 episodes. It was one of the 2.
I mean, I've seen the stuff for it. I'm
Yeah.
highly intrigued by it because it looks.
I mean, yeah,
freaking phenomenal.
we all 3 plan on checking out Violet
looks
Evergarden. It looks
Beautiful.
Kyo Annie,
It does.
the
Beautiful.
music, the animation, the art. It looks like it's gonna be one of those, that hits right here.
Even though it never hit, even though it never hits memory.
No, I
right
still get
here.
hit in the feels. I just don't. You just don't see
It's just
the
a cry.
you don't see the waterworks.
Because he has no soul. What? Tell him in the comments right now to watch Clan Ad.
Dude, yeah, like.
Beat you on the head with a baseball bat.
Like I hear that as someone who loves Clannad, who still
Oh,
thinks
man.
it's like almost my favorite anime of all time. You haven't seen it yet, which
I know.
Memory is just
sorry.
like, man.
Sorry,
it's okay, man. It's okay, man. It's okay. Just keep pushing Madoka Magic back a week, and you'll be okay.
Oh,
You'll
man.
get time to watch Clannad eventually.
But I mean,
But the real question is when's Assassination Classroom continuing?
Oh, that's messed
I thought
up.
you meant for like a 3rd season. I'm just like,
I
oh.
realized for a second, I was laughing about that.
No.
'Cause I thought it was impossible. Then I was like, "Oh, dude, that's messed up."
No.
For people who don't know, you don't understand.
No,
but
just
if you-
shut up. Just shut up, man. Just stop it. Just leave
I
me alone.
legit cried
You know
during
what?
that
We're
scene. okay?
stopping this thing. No, I'm kidding.
No,
No,
we basically are.
yeah, we are done.
Unless we're
though.
gonna talk about days on OVA.
I mean, what continues really in the winter? I mean, Ancient Magus
March of the
Bride,
Lion, Ancient Magus Bride
Black
continue soon.
Clo-
Black Blue.
I mean, I still have a lot
Garl.
to catch up with.
Oh yeah, Grand Crest
March is the
Senki, which
Lion.
it shows it's in the continuing on Mal because it had a pre-airing like for the first episode. Like Grand Crest Senki by A1, it looks like kind of like Alderman. It's gonna be like a fantasy action
Mhm.
show.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's interesting.
Yeah, it actually
Um,
looks pretty good.
No.
Movies? You guys really want to go over the movies or not? Really?
No, I mean,
I mean,
all
we
the
really
movies-
don't have
The
to.
problem with movies.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
I want to see Be
Yeah.
the Beginning because I'm very I want to
Oh,
see that.
Be the Beginning,
hardcore.
Devilman Crybaby.
You know, I want to see these, but guess what?
Devilman
They probably
Crybaby, I
won't
want
be
to
out.
look at.
They won't be out
Netflix.
for freaking ages.
Yeah, Be the Beginning comes out in March or something.
Yeah, so I mean, there's really
Yeah.
no point to talk about these.
Yeah.
Oh, Real Life, the Real Life 4 episodes apparently. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but whatever.
Oh, I
That's
guess Sword
fucking
Guy
strange to me.
comes out too. Sword Guy was
Sword-
announced
Sword
like
Guy.
yeah, Sword Guy was announced like last year and it kept getting pushed back.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No.
the Sword Guy, the story in general for Sword Guy is
For one of
It's
the
not moving.
one of the specials that's coming out in March is Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah,
Woo!
the OVA. I'm excited for that. We got Testament to Sister New Devil OVA. We got some OVA called Sex Prologue.
Yes, my anime.
I don't know what that is.
That's secretly when you get to the end, you see Miles' name on
And
the-
then I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
and we're not really gonna go over the movies. I mean, I plan on checking out Bungo Stray Dogs, Macross Delta
They're
movie.
gonna take forever to come out. 'cause
Uh,
they always take like 6 months after
Yeah,
they release.
and then there's that one from PA Works that looks absolutely incredible. That's by the
Yeah.
director of it's the debut project for the creator, or no, not the creator, the person who worked on Anohana. I think she's
Gotcha.
directing it.
But I think, folks, I think we got through everything.
A lot. I mean,
that's pretty much it.
How would you guys say this winter season's looking for you?
It's looking all right. It's looking all right.
I think towards the top half, it's pretty promising, but like as we were getting kind of
the
bottom
yeah.
there,
As you
it's kinda
progress,
like,
there's like
it gets worse and worse.
You know?
I mean, but here's the thing: a lot of seasons have that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically.
But I think this like kind of
it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be spectacular. I don't think it's gonna beat anything from last year, but it'll have some good shows. I think.
I think this winter will be better than what we had for the winter of 2017, though.
Yeah, if I had to pick like
that.
what I'm really hyped for when it comes down to the season, it's definitely Overlord, Seven Deadly Sins, Darling in the Franxx, the Junji Ito collection, and then I would say we'll just throw in Citrus. We'll throw in Violet Evergarden. I forgot Violet Evergarden. Yeah, so Violet Evergarden.
So that would be your 5. My 5 would probably be Violet Evergarden. This is in no order, by the way. Violet Evergarden, Darling in the Franxx, Overlord Season 2, Seven Deadly Sins Season 2, and man,
just say Citrus.
No. Probably like Grand Crest Senki or something like that.
All right, for me, Fate Extra Last Encore.
Or Fate Extra Last Encore. Shit. That one too. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome. Darling in the Franxx, Junji Ito collection. I'm definitely hyped for. What's it called? I'm like looking through the list again just because I can't remember off the top of my head. Violet Evergarden, I'm definitely looking forward to, and then finally probably I want to say Overlord, but I'm not. I'll say Citrus because really I'm not caught up with Overlord. So I am curious about Citrus.
Yeah, right.
So I am curious about that.
All right.
Yeah, well, that about does it, guys.
And then we find out they didn't record it. It's like, what the?
Yeah. That's happened before.
Yeah. Think we're joking.
But yeah, we're pretty much done here, guys. So thank you all for coming by over on Memory's channel, checking out the podcast,
Make sure to check
giving it a like, giving it a comment.
Yeah, their channels are down in the description.
Check out me and Miles.
Yeah, you were annoyed. You were annoyed until I mentioned that your channel was down there.
What?
You're about to be like, oh, this guy just interrupted me.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't gonna say shit.
No, Miles was. I saw his face when I interrupted him. He was like. And then when I mentioned his channel, he was like, "Oh, all right."
Oh, yeah, we're best friends again. Come on, yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
But yeah, thank you all for joining the Winter 2018 Anime Roundup podcast.
Just go like this, Roundup.
2018's looking up.
2018's
looking up, ladies and gentlemen.
looking pretty good. We still got a lot more shows coming out in the next few seasons to come, and I think it's going to be a pretty decent season. I think it will be. I'm definitely interested to see some of these shows out, and
especially Idolish 7.
We'll be entertained.
Came out today.
Alrighty.
But yeah, hopefully next time, Memory's connection will be up to speed.
Oh.
Again.
Blake, you messed up the appearance. He messed up the layout. He messed up the layout. Shit.
Oh, boy. Well,
what a way to end, yo. At least we're at the end. At least we're at the end.
Yeah, so we're gonna end it here right now because I don't know how the layout looks right now. But thank you, everyone. Memory, thanks for joining. Even though this is your channel, Aaron, thanks for joining.
Thank you, man.
And thank you for everyone who watched the stream. Love you all. See ya in the next stream. Hopefully, it will be good. And with that said, Merry
Christmas
thing.
Yeah.
See ya.
Jingle,
Merry everything.
Jingle, jingle. Hear my nutsack ring.
Kawaii desu.
Yeah.